What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
This is not the first time we have drawn our attention to the problem of choosing the best tires for SUV class cars, but repetition is the mother of learning. By the way, there may be some difference in understanding what this class is. Someone refers to it and frame off-roaders, including professionals fighting with off-road, and crossovers, both all-wheel drive, and with drive only on one axle, but some believe that the terms SUV and crossover are synonyms, and off-roader is something completely different. There are authors who, on the contrary, believe that an SUV is a typical North American light truck that is used as an everyday vehicle, and crossovers are something in between them and cars. Let's agree to stick with the first point of view. But back to talking about tires. Selecting tires for SUVs has some specifics, arising from both the technical features of the vehicles themselves and the specifics of operation. Firstly, the SUV body, as a rule, is heavier than the body of passenger cars of comparable size, and the loads experienced by tires are higher, because the class itself assumes the possibility of operation not only on flat asphalt. Secondly, SUV cars have a relatively large ground clearance, which implies the use of tires with a fairly large outside diameter. And here there is a serious difference in the nature of car operation by different owners. Some are focused mainly on driving on asphalt, and all extreme off-road for them is a drive through a snow-covered parking lot. Others want to be able to move comfortably around the city, without much stress to make a throw of 1,000 or 2 kilometers on the highway and confidently move on very bad local roads and dirt tracks. But there are also those who want to be able to overcome a few kilometers on spreading forest tracks. It is clear that it is unrealistic to develop a tire that would be equally effective in every mode of operation and in every ratio, because the requirements for a tire on different surfaces often directly contradict each other. For example, high performance on weak soils implies a sparse tread pattern, but this automatically leads to a reduced grip area on asphalt. Longitudinal drainage grooves, which effectively drain water from the contact patch on hard surfaces, reduce the tire's grip on the ground. A high profile increases comfort when hitting obstacles, but impairs handling, and increasing sidewall strength, on the contrary, reduces comfort. Hence the simple conclusion: even owners of identical cars need different tires, and their choice should depend on how they plan to operate their SUV. That's why leading manufacturers offer entire lines of tires for SUVs and crossovers. Let's break down what these lines are, using Toyo Tires products as an example. The first group consists of tires of the UHP category, ultra-high performance, which have a speed index V, which allows driving at speeds up to 240 km per hour. Such tires are of interest to owners of powerful and fast SUVs of premium brands: Range Rover, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Lexus. Among the tires of this group, there are models derived from conventional passenger versions by reinforcing the sidewalls, but practically not differing from them in tread pattern. An example of this approach is the Proc Sport SUV model. When developing this model, the main emphasis was placed on improving handling on dry and wet asphalt, as well as on the maximum reduction of noise levels. The composition of the rubber compound developed with the use of nano-balance technology, we have told about this technology in great detail, is also used to achieve these indicators in great detail. It is important that two types of compound are used in the manufacture of this model. The outer part of the tread is made of a rubber compound with high traction properties achieved through high silica content and their use of a special elastomer. And the base part consists of a high stiffness rubber compound, where the use of an elastomer to control heat generation and special components to maintain stiffness allows the tire properties to remain unchanged when the tire is heated up. The tread pattern is no less important. Among its features are 4 longitudinal drainage grooves, which form ribs with rounded edges. This solution allows even distribution of pressure in the contact patch, high stiffness ribs on the outside of the tread, providing stability in corners, and dynamic grooves that improve handling. Ribs with an increased number of sipes on the inner side of the tread improve wet traction and reduce noise levels. The tires are available in 42 sizes, from 215/65/17 to 295/40/22, but the largest number of variants is provided for the landing sizes at 20 and R21. Another model of the same purpose and category, The Prox ST3, is designed specifically for heavy-duty crossovers and SUVs. This tire features a directional tread pattern and draws attention with its spectacular sporty design. The design concept of this tire is based on lightning images, but they are more than just images. They are arrowheads and stealth fighter wings. Each of the elements has a functional purpose. Arrow-shaped, cone-shaped elements increase directional stability in straight-line driving and contribute to better traction on wet roads. Lightning-shaped grooves improve water drainage from the contact patch, rigid wide. Parallelogram blocks improve handling on dry pavement, and 3D sipes in the shoulder areas of the tread limit the displacement of blocks during braking and acceleration, which improves the transmission of braking and traction forces and reduces uneven wear. These tires are suitable for those who prioritize spectacular appearance, handling, and wear resistance, but the indicators of noise and comfort are less concerned about them. These tires are available in sizes from 215/65 R16 to 305/35 R24, with a maximum variety of variants in seating diameters R20 and R22. However, among the owners of SUVs that almost never leave the asphalt, there are also owners of much more modest mass models. Moreover, their audience is significantly larger, and such requests should also be taken into account. But here the system of priorities differs from the requirements of the owners of premium SUVs. They are more interested in comfort, wear resistance, survivability, and fuel efficiency. The Prox CF2 SUV, based on the Prox CF2 passenger car model, is the answer to these demands. The special rubber compound with silicon dioxide, wear, and traction-enhancing polymers ensures high wet performance and low wear while maintaining low rolling resistance. Above all, these tires are distinguished by their short wet braking distances, long service life, and efficient fuel consumption. 4 wide drainage grooves reduce the risk of aquaplaning, while the rigid ribs that form them reduce noise and increase the vehicle's stability on the highway. The internal construction features also contribute to improved handling and comfort, extra strong elastic bracing layers, and a high-strength filler cord. The Prox CF2 SUV is available in 29 sizes, from 175/80 R15 to 245/45 R20, but the focus is on the midsize R16 and R17 sizes. The ones that Hyundai Creta, Kia Sportage, Toyota RAV4 and VW Tiguan owners want. But there are those who bought a crossover or SUV just to go to the countryside, hunting, fishing, just to relax in nature, who, after all, live not in megacities, but in county towns or just in the countryside. For them, tires that are not designed for driving on the ground are simply contraindicated. But Toyo has a solution for them, too. A whole line of open country tires consisting of 4 models designated URT, HT, ART+, and MRT. Open country tires form a clear gradient in the balance of their properties. At one pole of this gradient are the MRT mud tires. This is a rather old model, which won the first awards back in 2008, but has not lost its relevance. New products in the mud terrain category are generally quite rare. The construction with 3 layers of polyester cord provides increased tire strength, excellent handling, and ability to withstand heavy loads, but the main talents of this model, high cross-country ability, excellent traction, and off-road handling, are determined by the tread pattern. It is the 4 rows of sparse hook-shaped blocks that give maximum grip to the ground, while allowing the tread to self-clean when slipping and simply in motion. In addition, the shoulder pattern, with open, serrated shoulder blocks that act as ground traps, allows you to drive confidently in deep mud and clay ruts. Toyo Open Country MRT, but this type of tread generally results in higher noise levels and poor grip on wet asphalt. To make the situation not so sad, all blocks are cut with deep sipes, and shoulder blocks have different sizes and configurations. This reduces the noise level on hard surfaces. As a result, consumer reviews call this model one of the quietest and most comfortable in the mud segment. The tire is available in 25 sizes, and exactly those that can be used on full and mid-size pickup trucks and SUVs. The fact that the open country MRT tires are perfect for installation on light commercial vehicles is indicated by the letters LT in the size designation. On the other pole are the UT and HT models. They are quite similar in their consumer qualities, as they are primarily oriented for driving on paved roads, although in principle, they can be used on light off-road terrain. Open country HT tires are sharpened for the highway and designed for those who often drive long distances. Accordingly, one of the main advantages of the model is its long service life. In addition, the symmetrical non-directional tread pattern prevents uneven wear, blocks with different levels of inclination reduce the noise arising from the contact of the tire with the road surface. For the same purpose, wave-shaped sipes, which cut the tread blocks to a greater depth, are also designed. The central stiffener is responsible for cornering stability and handling on dry asphalt, and two deep circular grooves in the shoulder zone for water drainage, noise reduction, and high performance in all weather conditions. Open country HT tires are available in only 4 sizes, but these are the most popular sizes: 235/75/16, 275/60/18, 245/55/19, and 235/55/20. However, the HT model is being phased out of the range as it is considered to be well suited to be replaced by the UT model. The range of sizes of the open country UT model is much wider and counts 51 positions, and 4 of them are designed for light commercial vehicles. As the name suggests, UT stands for urban terrain. The tires are oriented for operation mainly in the city, but the owner of a crossover, shod in such tires, can well afford a trip out of town, on grass and country roads. The composition of the rubber compound with the addition of silicon dioxide significantly reduces the noise level, improves traction with wet asphalt and reduces rolling resistance, and therefore increases energy efficiency. A number of tread pattern features, such as the optimized arrangement of differently shaped tread blocks and the frequent notching on the inner surface of the grooves, also contribute to noise reduction. This shape of the grooves creates an obstacle to the airflow through them, which in turn reduces the level of noise generated by the tread when driving. This technology is known as silent wall. Other features include the presence of so-called multi-wave sipes in the shoulder zone, which give the tread blocks optimal stiffness. This stiffness improves cornering stability and also contributes to more even tire wear. But what if the owner of a car regularly has to drive on not the best roads, and he wants to run on the gravel with the same confidence as on the asphalt of highways? Then he needs real universal soldiers, i.e. all-terrain tires. In the Toyo range, this place is occupied by the open country AT Plus model. On the one hand, the tires of this model are perfectly adapted to meet the off-road. Under the seamless top brace there is a heavy-duty steel brace, which covers a cage made of 2-ply polyester. All this, together with the high wrap of the carcass ply and the rigid filler cord, is the key to unexpectedly high for off-road tires, handling, stability, and wear resistance. In addition, a special rubber compound with silicon dioxide, is responsible for tread wear resistance, low rolling resistance, and wet grip. As for the tread pattern, it is designed primarily with the goal of high cross-country ability in mind. The side blocks, divided by wide grooves, are arranged in a kind of steps, and the tread pattern goes to the sidewalls. It is clear that ERT tires by definition have a slightly lower off-road potential compared to MT tires, but if we evaluate the performance of open country MT with a mark of 5 points, then open country ART Plus deserves a solid 4. In general, these tires should not be used to storm the Carolean bogs, but they will cope with the muddy ground in the middle zone without any problems. Well, to combine high efficiency on the ground with decent behavior and comfort on the asphalt, the tread pattern is made asymmetrical. It should be noted that at first glance this asymmetry is not at all conspicuous. Nevertheless, all rigid tread blocks are arranged in 5 rows. The central row forms a stiffening rib, which is responsible for the accuracy of reaction to the actions of the steering wheel when driving on the highway. The blocks on the inner side of the tire are responsible for low noise levels, as well as stability and high braking performance, while the blocks on the outer side of the tire are responsible for high traction off-road. As a result, the tire deserves an above-average rating for cross-country ability and wear resistance, and when evaluating all other parameters, dry and wet performance, comfort, noise, and rolling resistance, it looks like a confident mediocre. Of course, if you compare this model with purely on-road Toyo tires, such as the Proc Sport or CF2. In Russia, open country ART Plus tires are available in 56 sizes, among which there are variants that are ideal for old-school mid-size pickups and SUVs, for example, 30x 9.50R15LT, 31x10.50R15LT, and 33x 12.50R15LT. For mass crossovers, 235/70, R16 and 235/65R17, and for powerful SUVD vehicles, for example, 285/50R20. To summarize, when choosing tires for your crossover or SUV, You should not vote with your heart and be guided by fashion or spectacular appearance. First of all, you should clearly understand how exactly you will use the car, where and how often you will go, and what qualities you are ready to consider the most important: low noise level, driving comfort, behavior on asphalt, readiness to fight aquaplaning or passability. To provide all this at the same time cannot provide any model of any of the most famous brands. But it is quite realistic to find tires with a suitable balance for you, including in the Toyo line, and this Japanese brand can please you with quite affordable prices. In conclusion, finding the perfect balance in SUV tires is a complex journey that Toyo has embraced with dedication and innovation. By focusing on performance, durability, and comfort, Toyo continues to set the standard in the tire industry. Whether you're navigating city streets or tackling rugged terrains, the right tire can make all the difference. As we've explored today, Toyo's commitment to quality ensures that drivers can confidently enjoy every adventure. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of SUV tires and the pursuit of excellence.